why do you think people let the relationship just linger like that? Because not it, I know people in my age group who have been in relationships for 7 years, and I'll speak to a friend of mine, and she'll tell me like, "Well, I knew it was, I knew the relationship was dead 3 years in, but I stayed into it." Like, why do you think people?
Yeah.
Why do you think when people? Why is it that when men see an issue within their relationship, they see it for 1 decade, 2 decades, they see that something's not right, but they continue to stay in that relationship and just think that things will just automatically get better?
Yeah, I think about this a lot. It's a great question. I think there's 3 or 4 different things that are happening. One is just on a physiology level. The human brain doesn't like change. And so things that are new, the brain tends to look at them as dangerous, uh, or
Mhm.
risky at the very least, right? So, and like I use this metaphor with my clients sometimes, like if I think of, like a prehistoric man, it was safer to stay in a damp, dark, cold cave than go out and, hike 10 miles maybe to find an oasis, but I don't know what's between here and there. And maybe there's lions and maybe there's a storm. And like, at least in this shitty, crappy cave, that's not nice. I'm probably not going to die. So I think a lot of it is that kind of mental inertia that to do something new takes effort from us. It takes conscious effort. The brain doesn't like change. It sees it as dangerous. I think that's part of it. I also think for men, at least the men that I've worked with, a lot of times they are trying to fix it. And they think that they're fixing it. And they really believe that it's their job to fix it and that they can fix it. And so they're doing the things that they think will make her happy, but they're just not the things she actually, or either not the things she wants to be happy, or it's just a case that he can't actually be the one that creates her happiness. So I think a lot of men think that they're, I just have to make X amount of money and the kids
Mhm.
have to graduate and go to college. And like, then there'll be time for us. And I just have to kind of keep going and keep providing and do enough.
Yeah.
Uh, so I think that's part of it too.
What kind of things are they doing to save the relationship? Because they're thinking they're doing the right thing. And I'm guessing that paying the bills and being the breadwinner is part of that. But what things do men do to actually help save the relationship while they're in it, outside of paying bills?
There's kind of a tragedy I see a lot, Darren, is that a lot of men think that being the great husband and father is about being the provider and the protector and the rock.
Mhm.
And so they do that and they commit to it and they double down. And when things are hard, they're like, well, let's work more. Let's make more money. Let's create more stability. And a lot of times they don't realize they don't realize how bad it is or how close she is to leaving until she does. And
Yeah.
so it's often after the point where she says, I want a divorce, that men go to pretty extraordinary lengths to change other things. And that's when I see a lot of guys doing an immense amount of personal development work, doing a lot of work to understand and heal their childhood traumas and their attachment styles and like diving in and trying to understand the relationship dynamics more. But I say a tragedy because I usually don't, at least in the circle of men that I'm working with and tend to run into, I don't see that so much until she's already pretty checked out. And at that point, it usually doesn't work.